Hey guys, today I'm in my office again. There's always a pile of crazy behind me, it seems. Well, not always. There is again today. There won't be soon. Hopefully it'll be all straight and it'll be great and it'll be no problems. But I want to tell you a little bit about what happened today and then have a little bit of talk with you. And yeah, wanted to do that. So today we had to take Jeff to the specialist for them to check his eye. A little backstory: back in 2020 he had cataract surgery on both of his eyes, and the surgery went well, everything was good, and of course every year he goes and gets his eyes checked. Everything's been good, but this year whenever we went and he got his eyes checked, they saw that there was a little cloudiness over his left lens because they put new lenses in. There was a little cloudiness, more than what should be there. Well, none should be there, but enough that she wanted to send him to a specialist to be evaluated and to see if they wanted to do a procedure called a YAG, which is where that they take a laser and they just like do a little doot and clean up the what is it called, the membrane. It's kind of like scar tissue. I think it may be scar tissue, but I don't want to say for sure because I'm not a medical professional. I don't know, but they wanted to do that. So she sent him for that, and it was really wild because his appointment to his eyes checked was, I want to say that was Tuesday of last week. What day was it? Everything's running together. Let me see, what day was it? Yes, Tuesday of last week, and by Friday, well, Thursday, they had already called to get him in. Actually, I think they may have called on Wednesday. Anyway, they called to get him in for the specialist, and he went in today, which is Monday. So we got up super early this morning, went in. We had to go back to the town we did live in, went there, and I didn't know if they were going to just evaluate or if they were going to go ahead and do the procedure. So went in, they said prepare to say 2 hours. We don't know, you know, it may be 2 hour visit, maybe less. So we went in, did all the things, filled out the paperwork that we had not already been able to do on the phone, and waited, and he went back, and the doctor saw him, and he decided he wanted to go ahead and do it today. So he went ahead and did the left eye, but he looked at both eyes, and he said that the right eye has a little bit going on, but with our insurance they won't allow him to do both in one day. He said he was going to leave it up to Jeff whether or not he came back in to do the right eye, but he did recommend that he do it eventually. It did not have to be done right now. It's just barely there, but the less that's there, the better it is, because the less will be there. So so they did that, and Jeff asked, can I go to work? You know, is it okay if I go on to work tonight? Because he didn't know, because some of the things we read said yes, some said no, and you know, whenever you look at stuff online, you can't trust it. So his doctor said he was leaving it up to him. If he could see well enough to drive, that he would, you know, say yeah, go ahead if he wanted to. So Jeff had said that he was not going to go to work, and then a little bit later on he decided, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. But anyway, while we were still up there, we went by Bucks and got some little hooks that we needed, and we also got some little bags for when I do the litter, because the litter's in here, and if I'm in charge of the litter, then I want to do it the way I want to do it, so that I just want to do it my way. Whenever Jeff was doing the litter, he could do it however he wanted. When I'm doing the litter, it's going to be the way I want to do it, because he did do it for quite a while before we moved, because my back was the reason why. And now I'm, you know, I can do it myself. And plus it's in here, I can actually sit in my desk chair. I can scooch my desk chair down to the lowest point and do it, you know, from my chair if I need to. So I got some little compostable puppy waste bags. They're compostable, so I'm fine with that. So anyways, we got those. I don't know why I'm even talking about it. It does not even matter. But because of Kimmy giving me a shout out, which I was so excited about, and I know this is over a week later because you guys see the videos a week after they actually happen. That way I can make sure I stay up to date, or not up to date, but that way I can make sure I have videos for you guys. Because if I don't do that, if I get behind in editing or anything, I feel overwhelmed. So I just, that's the way I do. Okay. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm explaining so many things, but because our lovely Kimmy Cope gave me a shout out, I've got some new subscribers, and I was so excited whenever I was seeing the subscribers. I was like, what is happening? Where are they coming from? But I was so happy about it. And then there's a place for YouTube creators, if you are a creator, you know this, where you can see if someone has mentioned you on their post or their videos or anything like that. Well, sweet Kimmy had mentioned me, and that is where I guess a lot of you came from. So I know you don't know the backstory most likely because you probably have not gone back and watched the videos. But I'm just going to tell you a little bit about us, a little bit about why we moved, and just a little bit about us, I guess. For anyone who's new or anyone who just forgot or anything like that. Jeff and I have been married, well, we've been together almost, oh goodness, I need a calculator. I think it's almost 31 years, but it may be almost 30. This is terrible, y'all. I used to know by heart. Okay, so we've been married for 28 years. I know that. So we've been together almost 31. Yeah. So we have 2 children. Noah, who lives with us, and our daughter Selena lives in Pennsylvania. And she's been living there for 2 years, a little over 2 years. And we only have 2 children because that's all we could have. We could not have more. It wasn't because we didn't want more. It was because my body would not cooperate. And that's all I want to say about that because I don't want to get upset. I want this to be a happy video. I'm sorry for saying constantly. It drives me crazy when I'm editing, but I don't know what else to do. It is a verbal pause. It's just how people are, you know? And I know some people say it more than others. I seem to be one of those. But I do have to take time to gather my thoughts often. I talk a lot. I know some of my videos, you'll have no music at all. Some of them you will have music in. But I talk quite a bit. Mostly it will be me on the videos because Jeff works and he is on them sometimes, saying his hello. I can't do it like him. But in things like, you know, he's on the video sometimes. And Noah will be on every once in a while. Mostly whenever we're working on something. But he doesn't really talk in videos. He will sometimes talk but won't be on camera. He just doesn't love to be on camera. I don't know if I'll ever show you guys his bedroom because he is 25 years old. He'll be 26 very soon. And that's the camera at the other house. He will be, I better check it, 26 very soon. And his space is his space. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. We all have to have our personal private things, and I'm going to respect his space. If he gives me permission to share anything, I will. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you guys? We're Christians. You probably have already figured that out because I do Bible studies on my channel. I don't do Bible studies well, the last couple weeks I haven't because of moving. And most likely I'm just going to try to get better back into the groove after we get a little bit settled. I don't know how to explain that otherwise. I do have another channel. It's called Mama Cat's Home Plans. It's where I do planner related videos. I love creative or decorative planning. It motivates me to use my planners, and when I use my planners I stay on track better. In fact, I have not been consistent in my planner, my main planner, over this last week, and I felt very discombobulated. But every time I pick up my planner and I start using it, I feel less stress, if that makes sense. Let's see, what else is there? I'm trying to think of what else I need to tell you guys. We have 3 dogs, a cat, 3 rabbits, and 5 chickens right now. We will be getting more. Now I want to just talk about like the mobile home part, because I know a lot of you probably have questions about that. You might have even come over here because of the mobile home. You know, I know that I did get a lot of people because of the mobile home renovation. I have made videos telling why we moved or why we were moving. I have done a Q&A talking about different things about the mobile home, answering those questions. But I do want to say right now, I don't care if I've answered the questions before. If you are new, or even if you're not new, even if you just haven't seen the video, if you ask me a question, I'm going to do my very best to answer that question, whether I've answered it 50 times, 100 times, or 1 time. I'm going to try my best to answer any questions. Now, it might be where that I sit and do a video. It might be where I just answer you in the comment section. It might be where you send me an email and I answer it through email. It could be where that, what else is there way? What other way is there? I don't know. But if you ask me a question, I am going to do my best to answer, is what I'm trying to say. Because my daddy always told me, if you don't ask a question, you won't get an answer. And he also said the stupidest question is the one never asked. So I want you to always feel free to ask. Now, there are some things that are private, just like your life. We won't be sharing certain things, but there are some things that we're pretty open about. So let's talk about the mobile home and why we left the brick home. The main reason is we wanted to get out of the city. The city we were living in was just getting worse and worse. We had always planned, whenever we moved to that house, we knew that we were going to move back to the country, because we are originally from the country. In fact, this area where we live right now, where Jeff grew up most of his life, is about a mile down the road. So that is where we're from, you know. But we always knew that was going to happen. And I know I've had some people say, well, why did you leave your big house to move into a small mobile home? The house is really not much bigger than this mobile home. The house, if you don't count the porches, was maybe 1,500 square feet. This mobile home is like 1,280. There's not much difference. I didn't show some of the rooms, but the rooms that I usually was showing, is that the proper English? We don't care. The ones that I was usually were the ones I usually showed you guys were the biggest rooms in the house. My bedroom and the living room, den, whatever you want to call it. They were the biggest rooms in the house because they were additions. But all the rest of the rooms were really small. In fact, the biggest, like the one that was the master bedroom before the addition was put on, was just barely bigger than this room. It may not even have been bigger than this room. I think it was like 9 by 12, and I think this one is too. It may have been the same size as this room, and this is the smallest bedroom in the house, in the mobile home. So really most of that brick home was not real big. Noah's room was super tiny compared to the one he has now. Now our bedroom, the master bedroom at the house, was about the same exact size as what we have here, but it was an addition. Why do I look fuzzy? Or is it my eyes? I don't know. So we're not really giving up that much space, and moving here, we have one, well, Selena moved out 2 years ago. She took almost every bit of her things. The only things she didn't take was like her bed frame, which she loves and she wanted to keep, but she couldn't haul it in a car. So we told her we would store that for her, which is just a frame. It's a headboard, footboard, and railings. So it's not that big of a deal for us to put it in the shed. And she had a few other little things, but really she took almost her whole entire bedroom, which means that was an empty room. And we had a lot of things that we purged. The house really got messy before we moved for several reasons. One was we were collecting as many boxes as possible to move with, so there were boxes piled everywhere. 2, we were packing, so things were just a mess. 3, I had had spine surgery in January, and before that I really couldn't do much, so I didn't have like the physical power to do my normal cleaning, and it really upset me so bad. And I am a lot better now. Thankfully I had the surgery, and y'all know, if you've been here, I did have an arthritis flare. I have several health conditions. I don't talk about them a lot because what's the point? I mean, really, well, no. There is a point to talk about them if it would help you guys, but there's no point in me sitting around complaining about them. But I do sometimes, and I want to go ahead and warn you guys that are new, sometimes I do talk about health conditions because I need answers from you too, because I know a lot of you have health conditions as well. So if I ask you about something, it's not because I'm complaining, it's because I want to know what you did to help you. What helped you? So that's one reason I will bring up health conditions that I may have. I don't do it to complain, I promise you. I'm not a whiner about my health conditions. There's nothing that I can do other than pray about it and work through it and do what my doctor says, and I do go to my doctor. So and also if I ever find something that helps me, I want to tell you about it, you know, that kind of thing. So if you ever hear me talking about something like that, it's not because I'm a complainer. It's because I'm in hopes that we can help each other. Just like cleaning things and recipes and all the other things, anything that we can do that will help each other, I'm all for it. So the house is not much different in size. And so even though the house looked a lot bigger than it because of those rooms, it really wasn't. It wasn't a huge house. And honestly, the camera makes it look bigger than it really is. So Jeff told me this, you know, he compared the square footage and he told me there's not much difference. Okay, so also this mobile home has a lot more storage. Like the kitchen is way bigger than my kitchen up there. I have so much space, I don't know what to do with it, which is a good problem to have. I am definitely not complaining about that, but I don't want to waste my space either. I don't want to use it in a way that is ungrateful, if that makes sense. I want to be grateful for all of the space that I have here and use it sensibly. That's one reason I keep moving things and rearranging things, and which y'all haven't seen a lot of that, but I have talked to you a little bit about it during this process. But there's a lot of that going on, a lot of moving things, and that will continue to happen for a little while until we get used to it, until we figure it out, until we figure out what's best. We've also been purging things on the way. Like we have a bed and 2 bed frames that we're going to be, well, actually Noah's bed too, because he sized up whenever we moved because he's 6'4". He was sleeping on a twin extra long, which is not big enough for a grown man. But it wouldn't fit. Nothing else would fit in his bedroom before. Now he has a full size. He could have gone up to a queen, but he chose a full, which is fine. It's his business. So, I guess that's all I want to say about that part. We are not giving up much space, but we also did want to downsize. At some point, Jeff better not. Noah will move out, and you know, it's like it'll just be me and Jeff. We'll be empty nesters, and we don't need a huge house. We didn't need 4-bedroom, 2-bath. We're just still going to have 2 baths. We still got 3 bedrooms, but we didn't need all that living room and den, which the living room became an exercise room anyway and storage room. But anyway, there's that. My camera is about to quit because it stops at like 23 minutes, so I'm going to restart it. I'll be right back. Okay, so also about the house. If we could pick that house up and move it onto our property, we would. We liked the house. The house wasn't the problem. It was the location. That city, now that I'm not there, I feel I can tell you things about it. It's Montgomery, Alabama. If you look it up, there is, if not a murder, a shooting just about every day, if not multiple. During the time we've lived there, which is almost 12 years, it has just gotten progressively worse. And I know that's happening everywhere. It is happening everywhere. But we felt that it was best to get out when the getting's good, I guess you could say, in a sense. And like I said, we had always planned on moving. But one of the other major reasons why that we are moving where we moved to is our parents are getting older. My daddy has passed away already, but my mama is older. She has Sjogren's. She just turned 75. And she's not in the best of health. Jeff's daddy is 79, and he's not in the best of health. And his mama is in good health in a lot of ways, but you know, she's older. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to get closer to family. Another reason why we wanted to move is to get closer to family. Another reason is to get out of debt. And also because we wanted to be able to plant fruit trees, and we wanted to have a big garden. And yes, we have animals in the city. We had them in the city, but you couldn't have anything but a few chickens, maybe some rabbits. You couldn't have anything more than that, really. I did have guineas at one point. Not guineas, quail at one point, but you couldn't really have much, and we wanted that. We always have. So we bought 5.5 acres. Also, I guess I need to tell you where that this mobile home is right now is not where it's staying. This is my sister-in-law's land and her husband. It's Jeff's baby sister, his youngest sister. She wanted us to move it here so we could get here faster, and that way we could fix it. And then as soon as our house sells there, we can get our property, the septic and water and all of those things, because we have to have a well. We could get all that stuff done and then move it over there. But this was already set up. It had septic, it had water, it had a power. Well, it didn't have a power pole, but it is easily done. It had everything. It was ready to go. And so she wanted us to move here. Plus, she's right across the pond. So, I guess I need to say that. I'm trying to think of everything I want to tell y'all because I didn't make notes, but I know I've had some questions about why we were moving and things, and I want to explain it. I want you to understand there's no one reason. There's a lot of reasons, but mainly because we just felt the need to get out of that city, get closer to family, get out of debt, because we don't know what's happening with the economy, and get back to our roots, you know, get back to where we came from, so to speak. Now, I wasn't born here. I was born just a few miles down the road. Well, actually, technically, I was born near where we live now, but I wasn't raised here. I was raised up yonder, not far, next town over. But I hope that explains some things. And if it doesn't, I mean, if you have more questions, feel free to ask. If I need to do another Q&A, I'll do that. There's something, hold on. Okay, I thought that there was a wasp inside, but it was outside. I saw it on the window, like behind the curtain, and the curtain's not open, because if it was, it'd probably be way too much light in here on me, because the sun is over there. Did I ever finish telling y'all about Jeff? I think so. He went to work. I didn't want him to go to work, but he did. I felt like he should wait, because he did just have a procedure done, but he said he didn't even feel it. They didn't even numb his eyes, unless the dilating drops that they put in numbed them some. I don't know. They didn't tell him they were numbing it. But anyways, I hope that answers some questions. I won't be doing anything in the video today other than just this to chat with you guys. But I do plan on doing some more things around the house to unpack and things. But I just wanted to have a little chat. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer. And if I need to do another Q&A, you guys let me know, because I don't mind doing those. They're actually kind of fun. You get to know me, I get to know you, because I know that some of you will say, oh, well, I do that too, or oh, I'm like that too, or well, this is the way I do it, or, you know, something like that. You know, it's fun to get to know each other in the comment section. So that's all, I guess, for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope that you got to know me a little bit better. And if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing, because I really do want to know. If you have a prayer request, you can leave that down below as well. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.